Last time on the breakdown, we had superstars of poker, Patrik, Antonius, and Dwan, playing a huge heads-up cash game where Dwan makes a huge overbet on the river, Antonius raises, and Dwan easily folds the straight when Antonius had a full house. If you guys want to see that entire hand, click up there.
Indeed. It's pretty sweet, but if you just want to hear our favorite comments from you, here they come right now. And of course, our responses.
Oh, exciting.
That's part of it. All
Yeah.
right, River Jordan 13 asks, why did you guys not comment on Tom's river bet sizing at all? I'd have thought it was at least a little interesting and worth discussing. What is he trying to get calls from? It seems pretty bad to me, to be honest. I can't imagine very many worse hands. Call it.
I suppose in the video, we didn't really discuss the sizing that much, more Patrik's reaction to the sizing. So Dwan, as you know, bet almost twice the pot. I disagree with this comment. I think Tom can get called by worse hands actually pretty easily because he polarizes himself with his sizing. He's not trying to only get calls from super value hands. He's trying to get called by hero calls.
Absolutely, and there's a million cards that Patrik can be holding that can hero here based on the way the hand is played out. He called on the flop. He went check on the turn. When he checks the river again, it looks like he's got a very weak showdownable hand. Generally one pair, probably a 6.
Right.
Something like that. Maybe once in a while he can have an 8. And then he has trip 8s, he's more likely to hero. But even a hand as weak as 6-10 or something like that, 6-10 suited, really has to strongly consider calling here because Dwan is polarizing himself, and Dwan is completely capable of bluffing at this sizing. He does this.
Right.
We've seen him do it many times. So, and Patrik knows that. They play each other all the time.
Yeah, the top end of the straight, we think, is the bottom of Dwan's value range here, meaning that Patrik doesn't really have to worry about hands that are in between a 6 and that if he had something like 6-10, because
Right.
Dwan never really has the middle range type hands. So because Dwan is polarized, he can get heroed by a lot more hands.
Right. To be clear, Dwan could bet those middle range type hands. We just don't think he'd bet this much into this pot size with them.
Yes,
All
exactly.
right. Moving on. Overg
Okay.
asks, if Dwan can so easily lay this down, does that mean that Antonius should be bluffing here more often?
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. Obviously, Dwan doesn't think Antonius is bluffing really at all, or else Dwan would have given it a second thought, which he really didn't.
No, he really didn't. But we think all players, good players anyway, should be bluffing other good players a lot more on the river than they do, because we see people make exploitable folds all the frickin' time just like this, where it's actually so easy for Dwan to fold the 9.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that easy.
No, it really shouldn't. So I think people should probably be bluffing fewer flops and more rivers, because
Right.
people call on the flop a lot and not that much on the river, so that makes a little sense.
You can also talk yourself into calling things on the flop because you have draws.
Yeah.
On the river, there's nothing more that can come, so you just have what you have.
Not to say that we've implemented this strategy in any way, shape, or form.
Maybe a little bit.
But,
A little bit.
you know, upon reflecting on this question, I think you're right. People need to be bluffing more rivers as raises.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying
I was
that.
actually talking to the guy.
He didn't say should more people, he just said should Antonius.
Oh, well, also
I took it
everybody.
to the next level.
Okay. You guys both get credit.
All right.
Congratulations.
AG47 Fantasy says,
Okay.
real money, this is of course because we were saying they're playing with real money.
Yeah, like a cash game.
You realize that money needs to have a store of value to be considered money, and our fiat debt-based currency is the opposite of such attribute. If you play for money, that means you'd be betting gold or silver. To which Jeff Miller one day later responded, seriously, dude, move out of your mom's basement. To which Sven McDermott responded, actually not to Jeff, but also to AG's original post. Come down off the roof, AG, your family is worried.
Well, AG, first of all, why would you try to harken back to the gold standard when we can go all the way back to the commodity standard where we're actually trading gold coins? Doesn't that sound better to you?
Well, that is actually sort of what he's referring to when he says you'd be betting gold or silver, right? That's the commodity standard, actually, not the gold standard.
Right,
So
the fiat that he's referring to,
Right.
which is the gold standard, which is basing our currency on a shiny rock.
But the truth is this: we've been in the credit standard for a really long time now.
Yeah, since the 70s.
Right, or debt-based, if you will, a debt-based currency, and it's worked out fine. And you know, you can yell all you want that the world is flat, but we've moved on, my friend.
Yeah.
The whole economic world has.
Many progressive economic thinkers believe that the credit-based currency system is really the same as a gold standard because when you place money as shiny object gold, what difference does it really make? It's just a thing you find in the ground. It's shiny.
Exactly. Gold may be rare, but the intrinsic value of it ultimately questionable when we're valuing to the level that we have, as I'm sure you know.
Far less valuable than oxygen or water when you really put it to a real test.
Guns and food.
Yeah,
I can come
stuff
up with
like
lots
that.
of stuff. Yeah. When the apocalypse comes, will gold help you? That's the question.
Right.
If it won't, then it doesn't have any real value. Moving on.
You got on your soapbox and you got a response. Congratulations,
How do you
buddy.
like that?
How do you like that?
We put some time into that one.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, to figure that out.
We'll see you next week.